So, for those that didn't hear, this coming Saturday, November the 6th, I will be participating in Extra Life Game Day. And for those that are unaware of it, it is a 24-hour gaming marathon, which I have participated in for the past 6 years at this point. And typically, I would be playing games for 24 hours. But this year I'm doing something different where I will be developing a mobile game for 24 hours straight. And the goal is by the end of the stream to actually have it able to be downloaded from the Google Play Store. So feel free to stop on by at twitch.tv/GMSquibs and, just chill, have a good time, and even participate in making game decisions as well. So the end goal for, or the whole purpose and reason behind the game day, though, is to help raise funds for Children's Miracle Network. It's a fantastic cause, and you should stop on by, check it out, and help donate to some sick kids.
A great game, some say. The correct Cyberpunk 2077. From what I hear, this is going to be the mobile Cyberpunk with no bugs on release. You heard it here first.
And a worthy.
Well, and this will be an educational experience for everyone because I have developed one game up until this point, so I'll be learning along with you.
That sounds like a lot of fun, honestly.
Dude, it is so much more intense than I expected. And I've been a developer for 5 years, and a lot of the stuff translates over pretty well. But one of the reasons I wanted to go this route is to kind of help educate as to the complexity behind even just the simplest of games. So, as gamers, we all get probably frustrated when bugs creep into the games that we play all the time, but maybe once watching this, you'll be able to understand why.
I'm no apologist for gamers leaving bugs in their games, but it sounds like there may be a little bit of insight shed on that process for a lot of non-developer people who will stop in and tune in. As everyone here, I'm sure will take a look during the 24 hours at twitch.tv/GMSquibs this Saturday. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll provide a link in the description down below. And also while you're there, hit the subscribe button.
Nice.
Yeah, and for anyone that's looking to donate as well, you can go to extra-life.org. Search for GM Squibs to my, which you can get to my page from there and make a donation through there. And you'll also be able to make a donation through my Twitch page as well.
All right, very good. Noble cause. Let's see. Anything else anybody got? Sounds good. So,
let's jump right in. It's been a month and a half.
Yeah, true. Month and a half, and there's no time to waste. So, to pick up where we left off, the last session, the party had made their way over towards the Black Cabin, where it seems that it was haunted by a ghost or multiple ghosts of some sort, and with some investigation, was able to see that it was very well abandoned and had not been touched in quite some time. They had come across this strange device that they had found out to be later called a mythalar, and it had went off inside of one of the party members' hands and encapsulated two of them into the ethereal. And they were essentially ghosts at this point, where they met another fellow ghost named Mordecus, who was stuck there in perpetuity. With some investigation, and they ended up finding a way to repair the mythalar to make it work correctly, and were able to successfully bring their two party members, Andy And oh no, the new one. I forgot the new one's name.
Armand Hammer.
Yes, your older
Armand
friend
Hammer.
Armand Hammer.
Armand Hammer. How could I forget? Thank you. Back to the land of the living, and in their hands they now have a working Mythalar, which they went outside and tested, which slowly ascended into the sky, emanating a bright light equal to the sun, and started, in fact, melting away a lot of the surface ice and snow in the immediate region. Being so close to the range of this Mythalar, it had a greater effect there. They are still able to see all of the snow and stuff on the vast mountain ranges around them. And, to a distance, they were still able to see snow on the ground. But in the immediate region, in the immediate vicinity, a lot of it started melting back into the ground. And that lasted for about 8 hours. And as they decided to start heading out and make it back to town for safety and discussion on what to do with this newfound technology, an impromptu blizzard came through and whipped up quite a frost, and on the horizon in the direction that they were going, they spotted a handful, I think a couple, spotlights seemingly scanning back and forth, and what came forth from that was a battle with a pair of cold light walkers sent by Oral herself to try to intercept, investigate, destroy any sort of device that might be impeding on her overarching goals that she holds to herself at this time. So, where we pick up today is after the first two cold light walkers were dispatched, another set of two were spotted on the horizon and heading in this direction. And the party has to make the decision to flee. Oral has also offered up a surrendering treaty with leaving the device there and moving on, and she would not pursue. But we will pick up there with the cold light walkers on the horizon. Now, I assume I know what the party is going to do. We'll let the party decide. As the cold and cold snow and cutting wind begins to rise from all around you and just bring that temperature right back down to where it was before you guys had dispatched the Mythalar. Your brethren and fellow party members hurt, some of them wounded a little bit from this last battle. You look to each other and you're not sure exactly what you want to do. But does anyone have any ideas?
How far away are the new set of cold light walkers?
You would guess that at their pace, they're kind of like walking shamblers. They'd be on you in 5 minutes.
Okay. I'm going to look around immediately and say, all right, before they get here, who's hurt?
Quite honestly, they stayed away from me, so I'm fine.
Is anybody significantly wounded?
Zizix is just fine.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, it looks like you took the worst of it, I guess.
I barely took anything. Well then, I guess let's get ready for him to get here.
Real quick, Lek and I were on our way back from our little excursion. How far are we from this cabin?
Oh, yeah. So you guys came back and joined the party after they had defeated these two, if I recall correctly.
Okay, I couldn't remember if we had made it all the way back yet at that point. So
I believe you had.
All right. We'll go with that.
Oh, so you guys are choosing to stay and defend and try to weather the onslaught. Is that correct?
That has my vote. And I still have Call Lightning active, so I'm ready.
That's true, you do. Oh, man.
How long would you say that's been active? How long did the first set take to dispatch?
Less than 2 minutes, I'd say.
Okay, and you said this set is about 5 minutes away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would
I'm
say
still good then.
Well,
Sam, how big was that Mythalar?
it's about the size of, I'd say, a volleyball.
Okay, thanks.
1 second, I discovered a spill that my cats have done on my keyboard.
Uh-oh.
In the time that it took for us to go on a little trip and come back, they like to explore my desk, so. Those damn cats. Alright, should be good now. So, any preparation measures you guys would like to take into effect before they make their contact?
Yeah, if it's not too much trouble, I'd like to bust out my lute and play a little ditty to give myself protection from cold damage.
Yeah, easy enough.
And I'm just gonna prepare more lightning for when they get within range.
What is the range on that?
120 feet.
120 feet, thank you.
And Armand Hammer is gonna hide.
Alright. No roll needed on that. You have plenty of time to find a suitable spot for you to take your arch. Nice method. Okay. Alright, very good. So, at this point, as they draw near, the spotlights that emanate from these beings focus in your direction, and you see that they stray much tighter to the group of the party as opposed to when they were widely scanning the horizon, so they seem to have made your location. I would like everyone to now roll initiative. Give me 1 second, and I will get this ready. All right, Eclipse, what do you got?
20, baby.
20. Zizix?
9.
9. Lysander?
6.
Vega?
8.
8. Let's see. You're gonna have to read that to me, those to me again, because that did not. Those did not save correctly. Okay. Encounter, run. Where the hell? All right. Manage characters. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Rusty. Alright. Save, run encounter. Eclipse got a 20. Zizix got a 9. Lysander, you got a
6.
6. Vega,
8.
8. Silas,
12.
12. Armand Hammer,
I've got the 22.
22.
20 also, sorry.
20 as well. All right. So at this point, they are roughly 120 feet away. So, first one to try their luck and see what they want to do is Armand Hammer.
I was holding my lightning for when they got within 120 feet, for the record.
Yeah, we'll cover that on your turn.
Okay, cool.
Yep. That's why we stopped here at 120.
So
Gotcha.
I would just like to keep hiding.
Okay, very good. Holding your action for anything?
No, not right now.
All right. And next we'll have Eclipse. What would you like to do during this time?
Let's see if I can move any closer without being detected.
Okay, go ahead and make a stealth check.
That's a 12.
So as you start to break from the party and you use your knowledge of the snow to blend in and duck behind any mounds that are there, every time that you peek up, you see that light is still staring you down from the distance. So it looks like they've maintained a visual on you at this point.
Okay, how much more forward did I move?
I mean, you probably have another 20 feet of movement before you discovered that.
Okay. That's it for me.
All right. Next up will be one of the Cold Light Walkers who have just breached range of Vega's lightning that he has been holding. So Vega, you need a death save, correct?
Yes. How close are they to each other?
They're sparsed out about 20 to 30 feet or so.
Cool. Then I can get both of them. So I will call it down right in the middle of them. So dex save from both.
Okay. We got one with a 15 and one with an 8.
The 15 just saves, so he will take half of my 4d10 lightning damage. The 8 will take all of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage.
$25 lightning damage.
25. Very good. And then half of that would be 16, 17. Right. So they continue to move.
Wouldn't it be 13 if you round up, 12 if you round down?
You're right. Sorry.
No worries. I mean, you were trying to give me extra damage. I probably should have just taken it.
Yep, math. Math is hard, folks. All right. So those Cold Light Walkers continue to move in, and they have reached 90 feet at this point, continuing to lurch their way in. Which brings us to Silas's turn.
Wonderful. So, just as a reminder, if it's in parentheses, is that a disadvantage for ranged attacks?
I'm not sure. Brian? you talking about like range? Like,
Yes, a range strike. Ordinarily it's 40 feet, but I can also do 120, but it's in parentheses. I think that
yes,
means
that is
purpose
disadvantage. Yep, that's correct.
Alright, wonderful. Am I able to get within 40 feet of one of these things?
See, using 30 foot of movement, you would get within 60 feet. If you have a ability to dash using a bonus action, you can get there.
Let me see if I do have that. I did take a level in Rogue, but I don't know if I have that ability yet.
I feel like that was baked into level 1, but I could be wrong.
Apologies, give me just a moment.
You're fine.
That's a cunning action, isn't it?
I think it is.
That comes into rogues at level 2.
Wonderful. That's what I double checked. Yeah, I don't have it quite yet.
Okay.
Well, I suppose, how tall are these fuckers?
How tall? Let's see. They range in height. Usually, it depends on whatever the body that they're possessing is. So it seems to be a range from 5.5 to maybe 7 foot tall at the very highest you'd estimate.
I probably have a better chance of hitting the taller one. I'm going to go ahead and use my laser pistol then.
All right.
Since I'm not at 40 feet, that'll be a disadvantage.
Okay.
I don't believe a 9 would hit.
No, the laser pistol emanates a green light, and you see it just phew, shoot off, but goes wide of the target.
Not my best. Feeling a little rusty with this thing. Only shot it like twice. I'll get better.
Anything else?
No, that is all I've got.
All right. Zizix, they have broken 100 feet. Do you have anything?
Yes, I am going to. How many of them are there? Just 2?
Just 2 that you can see at this point.
Okay, I'm going to chug a potion.
All right.
And this potion. Oh, 1 second. Is a potion of confusion.
Okay.
Wait, hang on. Disregard that. You said they're 100 feet out.
90.
I'm just gonna
to be
get
precise.
90. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot a firebolt for now.
Okay.
I'm gonna save my potion for a little bit later.
Go ahead and roll your attack.
That would be 18.
That will hit. Roll damage.
That'll be 11 fire damage.
Very nice. All right. Anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay, Vega, it's your actual turn.
Hey, right on. I will call lightning down again.
So they have spread out since their last movement, so they are a little bit further apart. So you have to pick one.
How further apart?
They are now 40 feet apart.
I should still be able to get them both then, because it's 60-foot radius.
60-foot radius.
Holy shit, let me double check.
60-foot radius of you?
Storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder that is 10 feet tall with a 60-foot radius, centered on a point that you can see within range directly above you.
Oh, no shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So I will need dex save from both of them again.
I've got a 17 and a 14.
17 saves, 14 does not.
What you have here?
Alright, and that is 20 for the full damage.
So I kept reading through the spell. Each creature within 5 feet of the point that you choose must make a dex save. The 60-foot radius is the storm cloud that's overhead, so that gives you the radius or the diameter would be 120 feet.
Fair enough, nice
So
catch.
that's your range. Yep.
Okay, well then I guess...
I'll
Whichever.
handle it, don't worry.
Okay. The total damage was 20, so...
Alright, 20 damage. Got it. Alright, anything else on your turn?
I think all my bonus action spells are healing, and nobody should need that still, so... I guess I'm good.
Okay. Alright, at this point I would like everyone to make a perception check.
You just want us to yell them out?
Yep, just yell them out.
14.
12.
17.
Also 14.
17.
Okay. Who else got 17? Was there two of them?
I got a 22.
22, nice. So, those with the 17 or higher. As you guys are peeking out and keeping an eye on your adversaries that are enclosing, you catch a glint of something flying through the beams of light that are coming into your direction as it dips down through the beam and then darts off to the side, and it looks like there's something flying around them. And it's hard to say exactly what at this distance, but they seem to be not alone. Any reaction from that? Ice bird, huh?
Well,
I don't
that's my joke. Thank
No.
you for that.
Read the chat!
Oh no.
I gave you credit. God, don't be so butthurt.
Some say icebergs took down the Titanic.
It's the real iceberg was the friends we made along the way.
Aww.
Oh god.
Alright. So to those of you who saw that, are you calling attention to it or anything like that, or are you keeping it to yourself for now?
Which people saw that?
If
Above
you
what?
roll a perception of 17 or higher.
Okay. well, in classic Zizek style. Guys, over there.
And as he tries to point it out, the glint that he has seen is enshrouded in darkness, nowhere to be seen, and you're not sure if Zizix is seeing shadows or not at this point.
What was it? What did you see?
I don't know, but it's not good.
And that brings us to Lysander's turn.
I'll say, hold that thought as I draw my bow, and I will cast Hunter's Mark on the one that Vega had electrocuted with
Okay.
his lightning.
Yep.
And I will fire.
All right, roll your attack.
That is a 15.
A 15. That will hit. Roll damage.
Awesome.
Add your hunter's damage as well.
And my Colossal Slayer damage, because it took damage already.
Yep, both of them have. So either one you choose. Or you chose the one that Vega had already electrocuted. That's right.
Yeah. That will be 9 piercing damage,
Mm-hmm.
plus 4 other damage, and so 16 total. 16 damage.
total. Very nice. And you see the arrow strikes true as the cold light walker's beam of perception stumbles a bit, and you see it start to look downwards as you look out, and you see your target has been struck down, but then is able to start continuing its slow advance towards your party. Anything else?
That is all I've got for now.
All right. And as Andy and Lek begin to make their movement, the voice of Oral emanates and says, "Let's even up the odds," as snow starts to swirl up around their feet and envelop them into ice, and they are restrained. And they will not act on this initiative. Give me 1 second. I hear the dogs going crazy outside. Sorry, guys.
Take 5, people.
Thank you,
Or 1
5.
second. Or 1 second. I'm not the DM.
Nick can't count.
Okay, sorry about that. I think it must have seen like a possum or something that was crawling around. So, for now, Andy and Lek are restrained and are not able to act on this turn. Let's see. So that brings us back to the top of the order with Armand Hammer.
Well, how far away are these things?
90 feet at this point.
I would like to keep hiding.
Okay. And you have been deathly quiet and not made a sound, so you will not need to make a further stealth check. Let's see. Eclipse, you are up.
I'm gonna continue holding my position.
Okay. And now the Cold Light Walkers advance. They are now 60 feet away. So the beams of light emanating from these Cold Light Walkers begin to narrow, and they focus down, and they each target an individual. Let's see who get targeted first. Lysander will be targeted, and then that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cannot see Armin, so reroll. Zizix. Lysander and Zizix, you are each targets of the Cold Ray. So that is going to be ranged spell attack on each of you. We'll start with Lysander. The one that you pelted with an arrow focuses its cold light on you as it fires with a 14 to hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. The other one targets Zizix. And Zizix, that's going to be a 17 to hit.
That does not hit.
These cold rays, they are fired off from the beams of light emanating from these creatures, and they fire wide of each of you, and you hear the crashing of ice on the structures that it does hit behind you. And you see that it sounds pretty, just about as loud as the lightning that's been striking these foes at Vega's will. But that is the end of their turns. Next up is Silas.
Wonderful. I know I ran towards them earlier. Are they within 60 feet of me as well, or am I within that 40?
They would be 30 feet from you at this point.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and take a shot at the big one again.
Okay.
Now I do have an inspiration. I think I'd like to burn that, if that's alright.
Go ahead. Round of applause for the first inspiration in quite a while to be taken. Everyone else has been hoarding them.
That's dreadful. Neither one will hit, I imagine. An 11 and a 6.
Nope, neither of those will hit, unfortunately.
Just gonna put the gun away and take back out my rapier. This isn't helping.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. That brings us to Zizix.
Okay.
"60 feet at this point.
Okay. Okay. what we're gonna do. Is anything on fire around them?
No. Nothing at this point is on fire around them.
Okay. I'm just gonna cast another firebolt at this point, just for until next time.
Okay. Roll to attack.
That's a 14.
That will hit. Roll your damage.
How that happens? Okay, I got 3 fire damage from 2d20. Sorry, from 2d10.
Well, some damage is better than no damage.
Oh, hang on. One sec.
Okay.
Okay, so I know we kind of talked about this, but it's been a minute. So I have my new feat, my alchemical savant, where whenever I cast a spell using supplies, I gain a +5 bonus to one roll of the spell. The roll must restore hit points or be a damage roll that deals acid, fire, necrotic, or poison. So is that a +5 to the hit roll or to my actual damage?
It would be to damage. Can you read the first part of that spell one more time? Or that feat?
Yeah. Whenever you cast a spell using your alchemist supplies as the spell casting focus, you gain a +5 bonus to one roll of the spell.
So one roll of the spell can mean, from what I'm understanding, if you miss, you can apply that +5 to your 2 hit. Or if you roll low on damage, you can apply it to your damage roll, because it doesn't specify which roll you can apply that to. It just says roll.
Okay. So then that would be 8 fire damage.
Okay.
And then technically, I mean, I won't retro. Nothing. Never mind.
All right. Anything else?
That's it for now.
Vega.
Also, never fear,
yes.
Lek is here.
Lek. Welcome.
Oh, is that here?
Oh, that's awesome.
Dun-dun-dun. New player has entered the game.
Well, I think you know what I'm going to do again, so I guess I'll just pick one. The one that has been attacked the most, so the one I've hit a couple times, and Lysander hit with an arrow, and whatever.
Yep.
So I'll need a dex save from that guy.
Okay. That's going to be a 2.
Hell yeah, full damage, which will be... Hold for dramatic effect. 20.
Damn. Nice. All right. Anything else?
If it looks at me after I strike it with lightning, I'll flip it off.
Okay. That's a good free action.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up. One of the glints that was spotted earlier has descended onto the party. They are now within range. emerging from their stealthed flying positions outside of the light, getting advantage because the light coming from the cold light walkers is obscuring your guys' vision into the darkness. They are going to start flying and swiping at you guys. So let's see. Looks like Vega will be attacked, and then the next one will be Eclipse, who has been holding steady. It looks like they went right over Silas's head and moved into the main group of the party. So against Vega, let's see. That's going to be a 19 to hit.
That will just hit, so let me see what I can do about that. Hold on.
All right.
Okay, I thought I might have shield, but it's been so long since we played, I think I was thinking of one of my other characters.
No worries.
So I might cast Absorb Elements, though. Let me see what that is.
That's a reaction.
Yeah, I'm just looking at if I have to announce it before I hear certain things or not.
If you want to announce it now before you hear the damage, you're welcome to. I think you're allowed to announce it after I announce damage, if that's what you're wondering.
That is what I was wondering. So I will wait.
Okay. So you will take 7 points of cold damage.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just take that.
All right. But then I will also need you to make a Constitution save.
That I can do. 11. Damn.
You're just able to hold on to your concentration of the lightning spell.
Thank God, because I rolled garbage.
All right, and then the next one. Who did I say it was attacking? I forgot already. Shit. Eclipse?
Kitty cat.
Kitty cat. Yep. That's gonna be a 21 to hit.
It hits.
Okay. You only take 5 points of cold damage as it swipes down from above and claws at you. Cold damage.
Okay.
All right. Next up will be Lysander.
All right, so they're all up on us right now, correct?
The Cold Light Walkers are about 30 feet away, but the Mephits have descended onto the party, and you see your their fellow party members taking attacks from these flying ice Mephits, small elementals.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take aim at the Lightwalker that I had cast Hunter's Mark on.
Yep.
And shoot him again.
Alright, make your attack roll.
That is 24.
That hits. Roll your damage.
That's 13 damage total.
13 total. Very good. Anything else?
Are any of these elementals within range of me?
I'd say they're maybe 10 feet away from you.
Okay. As a bonus action, would I be able to go ahead and try to unarmed strike one of them?
Let's as your bonus action. Yeah, go ahead.
And that will be a 26 to hit one of them.
Yeah, that will hit.
Alright, and that's just 5 damage flat for unarmed strike.
Okay. Very good. Do you want the one that was on Eclipse or the one that's on Vega?
Eclipse.
Okay. Next up, Black. You're enveloped in ice and it's slowly growing all the way up your legs. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Well, when did this happen?
This happened last round.
17.
With your quick-wittedness, you're able to see that you're unable to move and quickly kick your way out of being entangled in this ice. And you now have the ability to move and act normally. What would you like to do?
Excellent. Well, as I kick the ice off my shoe, I take a quick look around and where is the bogeys in relation to me at this point?
In relation to you, there are 2 bogeys out about 30 feet, separated by about 40 feet of distance between themselves. And they're emanating that cold, the spotlight type of deal that they have going on for them. And then there are 2 flying ice mephits that are pestering Vega and Eclipse. Lysander looks to be taking a swing at one of them.
Very good. In that case, Lek will lift up his right hand and 2 little balls of Eldritch Blast will start circling above his hand, and he will use one Eldritch Blast on one mephit and the other Eldritch Blast on the other mephit.
Okay, go ahead and roll your attacks.
Eldritch Blast time. 24 on my first Eldritch Blast.
That will definitely hit.
And the other Eldritch Blast is a 21.
That absolutely will hit. Roll damage for both.
The first Eldritch Blast is good for 14 points of damage.
Oh boy.
And the next one's good for 15 points of damage.
Very nice. So, your first Eldritch Blast, it shoots the one over Vega, and you see this force wave and you see chunks of ice fly off this flying little creature, but it remains in its flight. However, your second Eldritch Blast, you fire off, and you see a similar dissipation of ice coming off of this creature, but then you see it descend and crash into the snow just at the feet of Eclipse as you have downed it.
As in, it is dead?
Correct.
At this point, out of joy for the kill, Lek will say, "Hey everyone, watch me fit this in my mouth." But then he won't do it, because that's ridiculous.
Roll a d20.
Oh boy, that would be an 8.
To the distance in the direction of Vega, you hear this voice going, "Ah!" as it's one of the mephits groaning.
Thank you, I'll be here all night. And with that, Lek will just kind of stay put since everything's kind of far away and just chill. Yeah.
All right.
Pun
That
intended there.
brings us to Armand Hammer.
Well, how far away are the big fellas from Armand Hammer?
30 feet.
Oh, they're only 30 feet away. Then I would like to run up onto one,
Okay.
and I will attack with my rapier.
Okay, go ahead and roll to attack.
That's a 18 to hit.
That will hit, absolutely.
Oh, that's only 5 points of a piercing damage.
Okay. I got that
So-
down.
Is anyone else here with me?
No, the closest one to you would be Silas, who is about 20 feet away at this point.
Okay, is there any other enemies within 5 feet of me?
Within 5 feet? No.
Okay, good. Then I will use my swashbuckler abilities to also add the 12 points of sneak attack damage.
Okay, very good. With that strike, the Cold Light Walker goes down and collapses into the snow at your feet.
Nice.
All right. And how far away is the other one?
I believe about 30 feet away equally.
Great. Then I will use my bonus action to hand the crossbow him.
All right, make your attack roll.
Oh, that's an 11 to hit.
That will unfortunately miss, as it goes a little bit high. The difference in terrain, after being excited with dispatching one of the Cold Light Walkers, your aim's a little off on the second one.
That was really exciting. And that will end my turn.
Okay. And next brings us to Eclipse. You saw Armand Hammer go and finish off the Cold Light Walker that had been taking the brunt of the lightning damage from Vega. You see one remaining Cold Light Walker. What would you like to do?
How close is it to me?
Let's see. It is 30 feet away.
Perfect. I'm going to do Breath of the Dragon in a 30-foot line that's 5 feet wide.
All right. Do you need a con save or is that a dex save? Or is
Hold
that
on,
an
my
attack
my-
roll?
My page is being... Oh, hold on. Okay, so it's a dex save.
Okay. That's a 7.
It does not save.
Okay. Roll your damage.
Alright, that's 6 fire damage.
6 fire damage. Very nice. Would you like to do anything else?
Nope, that'll be it for me.
Okay. And that brings us to the Cold Light Walker, who is going to move closer to Armand Hammer. Having just felled one of its compatriots, focuses its bright light on you, and I need Armand Hammer to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's gonna be a 16.
16. You shield yourself from the blinding light of this Cold Light Walker, and you're able to manage to maintain your eyesight for this turn. As then you are attacked by the Cold Ray that follows this targeted blinding light. So that will be a 19 to hit and a 5 to hit on its multi-attack.
That 19 is definitely gonna hit.
That 19 will hit. Okay. That will be only 7 points of cold damage shot in your direction.
Okay. Can I uncanny dodge that?
You sure can.
Alright. Thank you very much.
All right. Next up.
Lex saw that and says, "That was uncanny."
You're on one today. Next up will be Silas.
How close is it to Armand?
To Armand, it's about 30 feet away, I believe I said.
Okay, wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and, as I said, I took out my rapier, so I'm just going to run up to that one and I'm going to try and stab at it.
Okay. Go ahead and make your advance and roll your attack.
I can't assume I'm within flanking with anyone.
No, you would be on a solo venture.
No worries, that's fine.
In the open field, the party likes to spread out. Attack at a distance.
Oh, that's so much better. 22.
Absolutely will hit. Roll your damage.
Perfect. And I'm also going to go ahead and use my my psychic blades on this.
Okay, very good.
Piercing damage of 8.
All right.
And psychic will be 1 moment. Nine psychic damage.
Very nice. 17 total. Anything else on your turn?
Yes, as a bonus action, I'll shout over at Zizix, "Fuck it up, buddy!" and grant him inspiration.
And Zizix, with that inspiration being bestowed upon you, what would you like to do with your turn?
Attempt to fuck it up, I guess.
All right. You may go ahead and attempt to fuck it up.
It's a
That's
D6
the
of inspiration. So,
So is it just the one at this point, or was
Just-
there still
Just the one, and then there's still a mephit flying around.
Okay, 5 bolt. 14. Is the inspiration to hit or to like damage?
To hit.
And that's the D4.
D6.
So dirty 20.
Okay, that will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 14 fire damage.
Very nice. Anything else on your turn as your firebolt strikes true?
And then I'm going to... Hang on. Pointy's gonna use his full strike.
Alright, so you command him to use his force strike.
Well, that's a nat 1, so don't do anything.
That will unfortunately miss.
That is my turn.
Okay. Next up, Vega.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
You got it.
I got a little distracted over here with food. Is there still a light walker up?
There is still a cold light walker, and then there is still a mephit that is buzzing around you.
That doesn't bother me until the cold light walker's down, so I'll call down another bolt on it.
Okay, I'll make that dex save, and that is an 18.
All right, that saves. So it'll be half damage. Let me roll that. All right, 24 total, so 12.
Go ahead and describe your fatality.
I'm just gonna say, God, how has this one not died yet? And then just almost passively, just like flick my wrist and have the lightning come down, and it finally disintegrates. And I was like, about time.
Now that's what I call passive aggressive.
Yeah.
As the bolt of lightning strikes down from the storm cloud generated from Vega, the last remaining cold light walker falls to its knees and remains motionless. Anything else with your turn?
Not at the moment, no.
Okay. That brings us to the Ice Mephit, who will try to flee. So Vega, you have the chance for an opportunity attack if you would like.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a swing at it. Yeah, I'll take a swing with my scimitar. Let me roll that. $17.
That will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
$8 damage.
And with a swipe of your sword, at the very tip of it, you have a Shishka Mephit.
Hell yeah.
Stuck on your blade and limp.
Anybody hungry?
And as those words leave your lips, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh good, my best one. He said, full of sarcasm and rage. Oh, 17 though.
17. So as you point the Shishka Mephit towards your party members and make your snide remark, you start to see that it's growing a little bit, and you hear the cracking of ice, and you quickly fling it off your blade, and about 10 feet away from you, you see it pop, and a spew of jagged ice shards evaporate from the body. What seems to be a close call from what could be called a frag grenade.
Wow. Did the other one do that?
The other one did not, because the Eldritch Blast kind of took away those shards with its force damage.
Oh,
Because Lex awesome.
Right on, right on.
And that was pretty much a one-shot. All of its damage all at once. Or all of its HP all at once. No slight to Lysander's punch at all. But that takes us out of initiative. As the party regroups from their encounter with the Cold Light Walkers, you hear the fleeting voice of Oral saying, "This is not the end, but you have drawn the line in the snow."
Eclipse will draw a line in the snow.
You see a similar line being drawn close to where yours was, or where it is. seemingly off about 5 inches, 5-6 inches.
Lek will say, Oral, are these minions the best you got? Clearly you've been sucking off the wrong people.
Careful, she might take your ear.
She does not justify that with a response.
Good talk, Oral.
Her lips will smear both lines in the snow.
And as the winds and storm blizzards start to subside, with the parting words of Oral, leaves you in the wilderness at the dampened sounds of the surrounding environment. What are you guys gonna do next?
I'm gonna look to the rest of the party and say, anybody hurt?
No, they seem to ignore me the entire time. Almost insulted, really.
Not a scratch here.
You should write them a strongly worded letter.
Yes, who do you think Oral's manager is? I'd like to complain.
Anal?
Likely.
With one N or two?
Pretend I said something witty after that.
Can't now.
Make a charisma check, Vega.
Okay.
Oh, he gets the charisma check? I just roll a straight d20? What is this?
Well, this is him, you're creating the pun yourself, so it's a random chance. But for him to just insert a funny line, or a witty line, that's a charisma check.
13.
It's passable. Whatever you
Good.
said.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Didn't expect you to bring up prolapses, but alright.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Good stuff. I'm proud of all of you. But especially you for that joke, Chris.
Of course, that's what I do.
Alright, well, if no one's hurt, I say we continue on with our plan before all that happened.
Yeah, how
Right.
much longer?
Our plan.
Yeah.
So
How much longer does this big ball of light have left in it now?
So it's dark now, but it's returned to the possession of, I think Vega is in possession of it. So currently it's not emanating any light. And then also the plan was kind of discussed, I believe, before Lysander and Lek returned from their venture out into the forest.
Right. Well, I referred to it vaguely just now because above table I don't remember it. Because that was a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember it?
Well, if you fail the plan, you plan to fail.
I would like to say yes.
Please, Eclipse, enlighten us.
I said I would like to, not that I was going to.
I mean, since Lek and I weren't here for this conversation, we're off the hook.
Yeah, guys, get your shit together.
You should have remembered anyways. We all expected you to. You let us all down.
Wow, what a failure.
Are you talking to anyone in particular here? I don't hear any proper nouns or even pronouns, really.
I was talking to both of you. You're both failures, and you should feel bad. For not remembering what we did without you.
Can I Could I get Adriana out of the ice?
Yeah, so she seems to be up to the knees in ice at this point, but you can definitely assist in her trying to free herself.
Yeah, I'll help.
Oh shit.
My rapier a little.
Yeah, I forgot that happened. I will go over there and cast some firebolts at the base of the ice to help melt it.
Yeah, easy
Careful,
enough.
you can melt her legs.
Easy enough, and with some work, you guys are able to free her from the ice, and she's readily available to move. And she is freed.
Hooray.
Where are we headed?
I don't remember what the plan was. We were talking about going, was it to Brinchander? To bring the Mythalar there, and because that was kind of a central location in a big city that it could be helpful to. I feel like that might have been part of the plan.
And then the other thing that was in discussion was going forward on the Duragar hideout in the mountains, but I assume you guys were leaning towards dealing with the Mythalar first, so you weren't carrying that precious object into the wilderness.
Yeah, I think that was the idea, because we want it to be able to be as much help to the 10 towns as we can. So I think we had decided to bring it to Brinchander and work from there and talk to them about the possibility of letting towns take turns with it, so its benefits could be more spread out.
Yes, I vaguely remember quite the brainstorming session regarding the Mythalar. That was one of the things mentioned, in addition to trying to mass produce them, or something like that.
Pretending to be
Right.
God was on the schedule too, but that was mostly said with my tongue firmly planted in my cheek.
Indeed.
So I'm going to look around and say, to Brinchander then? Yeah?
That sounds as good idea as any. Lead the way, Vega.
No mind if I do there. And I'll start walking.
All right. You guys start making your way from the black cabin back to the trail leading towards the main road that eventually will take you to Brinchander. The night is dark, cold. Starts to really remind you of what you've been dealing with for the past, couple months. You guys have been out here traveling as a group. But then it also kind of brings to light just how big of a difference having this Mythalar in use would be to everyone in the 10 towns. So, as you guys make your way, I would like you to make a survival check for whoever's leading the party.
On it.
What time is it right now?
I believe it is after 9 p.m. or so. Because if I recall correctly, you guys dispatched the Mythalar after sundown to create the second set of the day, or second son of the day, so to speak. And it lasts for 8 hours, and Oral showed up as it went down. So it would be close to 9, I'd say.
PM?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to make this trek out into the dark at night to Brinchander?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
How far away is Brinchander from where we're not that far, right?
Let's see. I believe it was a 4-hour hike. Let me pull up my map here. Enchanter. Yeah, you're looking at 4 or 5 hours.
If we make it there, we could get a room for the evening and perhaps have a bit more warmth than sleeping in the snow.
Yeah. I don't mind traveling at night. It's just 4 hours, but if anybody doesn't want to, we can discuss.
I would prefer to get as far away from here as possible and not be out in the open during night for sleeping purposes, so I say we push on.
Very well.
I got a 23 on that survival check, by the way.
Okay. So with that, you guys make great time. As soon as you depart and hours into the journey, you guys see on the horizon Bryn Shander. And it started to snow just a bit as you guys make your way into town. Where exactly would you like to go?
I'll look to the party and say, should we just head to the tavern, get a drink or two, and call it a night, and then find someone to discuss this thing in the morning?
That seems like the best idea.
Reasonable.
Agreed.
Alright. You guys make your way to the Northlook Tavern.
By the way, I still got my little mummy friend with me, right?
Yes, that's right. You had a mummy friend. He had, as you guys have been walking through town, you do get some side-eye looks with the mummy being in tow.
What did you say his name was?
Sinar.
Can I call him Emotep?
No.
No.
Damn, okay.
Would you like me to disguise him for you, or you just gonna let it be?
Well, considering the glances that we're getting, that might not be a bad idea.
Very good. So I will cast minor illusion on the mummy to make him look like, just this dude with like wind-burned skin. So it's like kind of reddish, but like it wasn't originally red, windburn. And then he has just, like dirty blonde, long hair, beard, mustache, and gray tights. He's wearing tights. Yep. And then like a ratty fur coat. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna illusionally make him look like.
Blends in quite nicely with the rest of town. After that, everyone just pays you no mind and just sees another adventuring party making their way through town. You guys arrive at the Northlook Tavern, and you see that there are a number of patrons here tonight. It looks to be fairly busy. Bartender waves in recognition and asks, "What can I do for you?"
Food, drink, rooms.
What? Let's see. I've got 4 rooms available, and we have knucklehead trout on the menu tonight, if that's all right.
That'll be
just
fine.
All right. That'll be 22 silver total.
I've got it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you again, Silas.
Yes, thank you.
Well, it's not like you don't have any to spare at this point.
And with that, food is quickly brought out to you, drinks to go along with it. Mead has been served alongside this honey roasted knucklehead trout. So, tastes quite good. It's a nice warm meal. Is great respite from the cold outside. Whenever you guys are ready, the rooms are available, but I'll leave the floor to you.
I will ask Sinar real quick whenever we have a seat at our table and said, do you require nourishment?
No.
I didn't think so, but thought I would ask. Would you like
It is haunting.
some nourishment?
The sentiment is appreciated. And no, I think the honey would just interfere with my rap.
Understood.
Yes.
If you ever do need anything, do not hesitate to ask for it, please. And I will introduce him to everybody else in the party since we hadn't made proper introductions yet. And just like in real life, I'm bad at introductions.
I'd like to know what that would sound like.
Sinar, over here, we have Eclipse of the Moon. We have Vega over here, Lecturelong, and Andy over there. And then we have Zizix, my friend, over here. And we have Armand Hammer over here. And Silas. I was going down the list here. I was like, I'm forgetting somebody.
They all
Yep.
follow you?
No.
We all follow each other.
Eclipse mainly follows me.
What?
I think you might want to switch that there, bud.
Oh, Eclipse. Good times.
Strange. These towns are not what I remember. There was nothing here.
Yeah, times sure have changed, haven't they?
Yes.
How long, Sam, how long had he been asleep for?
I don't know if he knows. But if you told him the year in the introduction, it would be, let's see, like 200 years it looks like.
200 years, please.
That's rookie shit.
Are you suggesting I need to return to my slumber? Is that what you command?
Absolutely not, no.
Then how can I get those numbers up?
In due time, my
You're
friend.
giving me conflicting commands.
I didn't give you any command, actually.
It was the... It was the implication.
No, my friend, I'm merely...
I'm not going to hurt these women, it's just the implication.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It's
No.
always cloudy in Icewind Dale.
Sure is. No, I know that we have not had a whole lot of time to get to know one another yet, but in a similar vein, Sinar, I was away for 1,300 years.
Damn.
Believe. Damn is right.
This land must be very different from what you remember.
Some things never change, actually. Apparently. Humanity being one of them.
You're very wise.
Thank you for noticing.
And you have been traveling together for long.
For a few 10 days now, I would say.
Oh. Are we
Not
keeping
long.
secrets from them? He tries to whisper.
Do you have secrets that you feel like you need to share? I'm gonna give him a shut up look.
I have no secrets that are pertinent to this conversation either.
And I will nod at him. Right.
Lysander, I think your friend is in love with you.
Vega's kind of gonna give Lysander a look with a little raised eyebrow, just like a Okay, there, bud.
Do I
But he won't
see-
say anything.
Do I see him making that look at me?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yes.
Nothing. Just curiosity. That's all. It's fine.
Yes, I still have many questions for him myself, but for now, welcome him to the party and be kind to him.
Absolutely. Would anyone like a lullaby before bed?
And
No.
as you say that, a few patrons, they come up and say, "Have you written a ballad about that second son? We all saw it today."
Oh, that. Well, I'm working on something. I do know an old favorite of the town. I've committed it to memory.
Well, it's a fine time as ever, I'd say. The return of the second son. I'd say we all like to hear a song, wouldn't you? As he turns over to the rest of the tavern and they kind of clank their mugs on the table in agreement.
Alright, Silas will step onto his table, pull out the lute, and begin performing. There's a place I'd like to go, further up the river's flow. Where it is, I do not know, must be under all that snow.
And in unison, the rest of the tavern shouts, "Hey!" and returns to applauding and clanking their mugs on the table. And looks like 18 silver pieces come your way.
Almost paid for the rooms. Wonderful. I'm going to bed.
Good night, Silas.
Of course. Eclipse, Armand, if you don't mind in the morning, I wouldn't mind a word with both of you.
Sure.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Yes, I'm sure it will be. But for now, I need to rest.
Silas makes his way from the table down the hall into his room. What of the rest of you?
I will turn to Sinar and ask him, are you tired?
I've been sleeping a long time.
Do you require sleep?
In my past life, I required only meditation.
You and I have a lot in common, friend.
So it seems.
That's all I have to say about that.
Alright. Life is like a box of Elvis chocolate.
Oh no.
Elves make good chocolate, do they?
The ones that live in trees.
Oh, that's funny.
I am so sorry.
That's really good.
Thank you, thank you.
Lek gives a nod of approval.
I don't need your nod, Lek.
Lek gives a thumbs up of approval.
Eclipse will smack his hand.
Lek will walk away.
What else would you guys like to discuss, talk about before retiring to your rooms for the night? It's after midnight at this point.
Yeah, I'll go back to my room and read a bit before bed.
I will also retire to my room.
Lek will take a look around and see if there's anything interesting a brewing.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
$16.
16. Let's see. So nothing super interesting that catches your eye is occurring in this tavern. The tavern does seem to be mainly abuzz, just with the, the second sun arising and to the east of them, or I'm sorry, to the west. But you do catch tail end of a conversation about interesting subject. Let's see. See, what did you hear? Ah, yes. You overhear the tail end of the sentence, they say the Frost Maiden lives on a misty isle hidden among the bergs in the sea of moving ice. Do you think she took shelter there from the second sun? Well, it's practically unreachable, but they say there's a talking whale over at Angajuk's Bell. It's an old anchorage, but I hear he comes and greets you if you ring the bell hanging on the pier.
Did I hear that?
Yeah.
Who
I'll
else?
look at Lysander and say, "Do you hear what I hear?"
I do. I do hear what you hear.
Well, I
Shall
thought
we
we had
go?
a conversation with those gentlemen.
Yes, let's.
Alright, you guys start to make your way to the bar. How do you approach them?
I'm going to walk up to them and say, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but overhear. You said that the Frost Maiden lives in some bergs. Forgive me, Lysander Blackburn." I hold my hand out to him.
Ah, you can call me Phineas.
Now that is a good name.
This here is my friend Lek Sherlong and my other friend Sinar.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Ah, likewise. Have you come to celebrate the coming of the second son?
But of course.
Indeed we are, actually. Couldn't help but overhear what you were discussing and thought we might come and have a chat about that.
Oh, what caught your eye? Or your ear?
Mostly, a talking whale is pretty interesting.
Yes, where did you say you could, I don't know, commune with this talking whale?
Angajuk's Bell. That's, let's see, I'd say west of here quite a ways. He's trying to, he strokes his beard and goes deep into thought as to exactly where the location of this place is. Let's see if he can recall with an intelligence check. He says, I believe Angajuk's Bell resides northwest of Bremen. You have to travel quite a ways in the wilderness, but it's used to be an old pier of the, before this winter and decades before that. Used to be a little bit more habited, I guess. The desperate fishermen head out that way if the rivers and the mare are not providing as much. Try their luck in the sea of moving ice.
I see. Well, does the whale perchance have a name?
Well, if he did, I don't think I know it. It's, I don't quite trust the people that said that he can actually talk. It seems, it's one of those white whales, and, who knows if they're real, but apparently it can talk. Who knows?
So you're saying it's a whale of a tale?
The whale of a tale indeed.
Indeed.
Well, I would agree with you, friend, except that you're talking to a man made of metal.
Well, I've seen you around, and, it's not the craziest thing I've seen. I mean,
Sure, and among our party we have a tabaxi and a luxodon. So, a talking whale, not out of the realm of possibility, I would suppose, but, why the hell not?
I suppose you're right, but I mean, Tabaxi, Luxodon, they're normal people with civilizations. I've never heard of a civilization of whale people. But perhaps they live at the deepest parts of the oceans.
Mayhaps. Can I buy you a drink, friend?
Absolutely.
What's your poison?
I'll take more of this good mead.
Good meat it is. I would hail the barkeep, and I'll ask for 2. I'll turn to Lek. Lek, would you like a drink?
Yes, I think I'll take one more drink before turning in. Thank you.
Sinar, care to wet your whistle?
No,
Very well.
I'm straight edge.
You sure are, friend. 3 good mids, please.
And the bartender says, 6 silver.
Very well. I'll hand him 1 gold coin and tell him to keep the change.
Thank you for your patronage. As seems to be expected, Nowadays, you guys have been so gratuitous with our services, and we thank you.
Well, we thank you. And we'll continue on with our conversation, I suppose. Lek, did you have some questions for this kind gentleman?
Oh, let's see. I mean, no, I really would just want to know where the pier was and just clarify a few details which you've already done. So, yeah. No. So, do you have any good oral jokes, sir?
Well, it's kind of tied to the story of Angduke's Bell, but the whale that supposedly can talk and allegedly has a boat tied to its back. But
You don't.
tie it in with oral, it's a sperm whale.
Oh.
I'm gonna nudge at Sinar and tell him laugh at the man's joke.
Oh. Done. Oh. Good, sir. That was very good. You'll have to excuse my friend Sinar here. He lost half his throat as a child. It was a terrible accident. Took an arrow, and then he tried to have a dog chew it out. It just didn't work well.
Okay, that's good. That's good, Sinar. Thank you.
Sinar returns to silence.
So a boat tied to the whale's back. Interesting.
So you're saying this whale, when you summon it, can potentially take you to Oral via the boat tied to his back?
That is what they say. It's they say it's either stuck there or been fastened on in some regard for passage. I just don't see why they wouldn't want to just, use a boat. The benefit of a whale is, they would have to stay above water, and I guess you wouldn't have to go by the winds, but they have to go underwater every now and then, I'd think. So at that point, your boat's taking on water.
Well, I mean, technically they're mammals, so I mean, they can stay up top and swim pretty okay. So it could potentially work, but what I find to be troubling is it just seems too easy. Like I've never noted Oral to be someone who wants to be reached easily, but that just seems way too convenient.
Well, not many people want to brave these elements, but that could all change if the second sun returns tomorrow.
Yeah, what do you think would happen if that were to come?
I don't know. It's great speculation and conjecture at this point. Many have flocked to the Church of the Morning Lord to try and beckon it once more, and thinking they are what they have been doing has been a direct reflection of what happened today. There's really no telling.
I suppose not. So, where did you hear this great whale of a tale, if I may?
You may.
Where had you heard? Where have you heard about this great talking sperm whale?
Oh, I believe it was fishermen out of Bremen, I believe. I had gone there a few 10 days ago, and enjoyed a nice lager over there with some folk who had just been fishing, and since they are closest in relation to Angajuk's Bell, well, that's just trading stories at the tavern to pass the time like we are now.
Sure. That's quite a story. I always enjoy a good story.
Yes. Me too. And Sinar has got a very big grin on his face. I am enjoying the story.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and say, that's great, friend.
I'll do it more.
Sorry, what? What did you say?
I'll do it more. I will enjoy the story more if that's what you command.
Enjoy it how you please. I turn back to Phineas. Forgive him, he's strange.
Yes, I'd say so. And Sinar is playing with his facial expressions quite obviously to try to enjoy it as if he was pleased.
So, Phineas, is that a family name by chance?
Phineas with the T. No, it is not a family name. I was adopted at a young age, but took to trades quite young, and eventually went out on my own when times were tough.
Above table, is he fat or thin?
Yes, he is thin.
Well, you wear your name well.
Thank you. I hope to bring honor on it one day.
I suspect you will. And I certainly appreciate the conversation, but as it turns out, it's been a long day, and I'm going to turn in, but I'll quickly bolt the rest of my drink. You have yourself a good evening. Best of luck in whatever the future holds for you.
You're right. It has been the longest day in some time. I wish you well, and good luck in your endeavors.
Much obliged.
And to you too. And to you too, friend, I say as I raise my glass to him.
Raising his glass straight up into the air, Sinar says, "Me too."
Yes, come along, Sinar.
As you wish.
Alright, so, who all is still downstairs? Is it just Lek and myself?
I
Who
believe
else is
Vega, Zizix, and Armand Hammer and Eclipse are still at the table that you guys left from earlier.
Alright. And they said that they had 4 rooms available
Yes.
tonight? Okay. Yeah, I think it's about time that we turned into Sinar. Let us go to our quarters.
Turned into what? I've already turned into a man.
Shh. Okay.
Before
We're going to go now.
before going to the room, Lek will walk over to the table here, everybody, and say to Eclipse, "You know, Eclipse, if you hadn't been so helpful in turning down my approval, I would not have just heard such good, valuable information. So once again, Eclipse, we make the best team." Thank you, Eclipse. Thank you. I know you're speechless.
And I would like to catch Lek. Are you heading off to bed too?
I was planning on it.
Okay. I would like to catch him in private, away from the rest of the party, as we adjourn to our rooms.
All right.
Lead the way.
All right.
So I assume is everyone breaking essentially?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for bed.
I can finish this chapter in my room.
Fair enough. So Lysander, you are able to get the attention of Lek and break away from the rest of the group.
I guess we'll share everything that we just found out in the morning.
Indeed. Indeed, it does give us a potential opportunity of something to pursue once we've finished securing the Mythalar and such.
I was thinking that if this crazy fish story has any merit, if any of that is true, I suggest that we take it straight to her humble abode.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like of all the things up here that are happening, taking care of her is the next biggest pressing thing, for sure.
Indeed. Well,
The Durgar can go fuck themselves for all I care.
yeah, we'll just have to follow up on everything Phineas just provided to us.
Indeed.
I'll tip my hat to him. Have a good night, friend.
Thank you, Lysander. You as well. And good night, Sinar.
Ah, it is, isn't it?
Yes, it's quite lovely. Well, awkwardly stand over Lysander well.
You don't take orders from him, remember. So, we're going to find our room, and I'm going to talk to Sinar and just give him a few basic rules and instructions. First and foremost, I would like for him to know just to follow my orders. He does not have to say as you command or as you wish. Just do as I say, please. That's the first thing. But I can talk to you about the other things that I want to go over with him separately.
No, please, go ahead. Unless you want to do that, like, in private from everybody. Like, above table.
I just feel like it would take a while.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. As funny as that would be, I feel like we would be here for another half hour.
Okay, very fair. That is fine. So,
I'd like to think he says as you wish right after you tell him not to say as you wish anymore.
Yeah, I had that thought too.
And that is the last time.
Then he pushed him down a hill.
Wonderful. Give
All
that
right.
man advantage.
So with that, let's see. Anything that anyone wanted to resolve in their rooms individually? I believe Silas wanted to talk in the morning to some people, right?
Yeah, just in the morning is fine.
And that was to Eclipse and
Armand, if possible.
Yes. So before daybreak, I will say you will be able to get their attention in their rooms and pull them together for a conversation. We can go ahead and go through that after everyone gets a good sleep.
Sure, yeah, I can do that now. Just kind of usher them into the hallway and be like, all right. So, this is going to be embarrassing, but I'm trusting you both with it.
Okay, what is it?
You both move rather nimbly. I was watching you. Not in a weird way, I assure you, but I was watching you during combat, and I couldn't keep my hands steady. I don't think I could hide the way you did. I certainly can't do any of those fancy rolls and such you're always doing. It's my body doesn't bend that way.
Okay.
So teach me.
Well, you could stretch for one.
Can you show me some stretches, either of you?
Yeah. Lunges are great. And she'll proceed to example this.
I can't do those in these slacks.
Unfortunate. How comfortable are you doing a somersault?
A summer what?
Oh dear. Eclipse is kind of gonna look at Armand.
Well, I don't know exactly what she's doing, but for me, it all comes down to your ability to hide.
To hide.
I.e., not participate in combat?
I mean, I definitely killed that one big thing.
He did. I was there. I watched.
I mean, so was I, but I didn't know where he was for most of the time.
Yeah, see it like that. You hide, and people don't know where you are, and then all of a sudden, surprise, here I am, little babies, and you kill everything.
Okay, I guess that works.
I've tried hiding in the past, but I always find myself working on the right line to say when I pop out and go to stab something, and I feel like that just gives me away most of the time.
Maybe whisper it as you're killing them.
But then how will everyone else hear it?
Yeah, I mean, she's right. You don't have to say something when you pop out. You just pop out, and then you stab. Then you could say something, but you don't have to say something when you come out.
Yeah, it could be more of like a button.
That seems wrong on every conceivable level.
Look, we're just trying to give you helpful suggestions.
No. Of course, I'm listening. I promise. It's just it's hard for me to wrap my head around all of this.
Well, not everything's about being loud and out there. Being stealthy is being fluid and quiet.
Fluid and quiet. I could give that a shot, I suppose.
Try it out the next time we fight something.
Okay. Thank you both for your time. Of course, you'll be compensated, and Silas will hand them each a pre-made bag of 10 gold.
Oh, no. I could not possibly take that from you.
No. It's the first of hopefully many. I need to learn how to be a bit more dexterous and sneaky and flexible, as it were, and I want to bring you both on to be my teachers and trainers, if that's possible.
I'm always happy to help you. You don't have to pay Armand the Hammer for that.
But I will.
Oh, I don't need any money.
Silas will take the gold and hand it to Eclipse.
Perfect. I will happily accept his payment on his behalf. How about I just hold it for you, and if you need something later, I'll use this money to pay for it.
I mean, Armand the Hammer, he's very easy to please. I don't really need a whole lot. I can pay for food and a room, and I've got my weapons already.
We'll just consider it a savings.
Oh, that's a really nice of you.
You're welcome.
Okay, well, thank you for this first lesson. It's been eye-opening. And Silas, in plain view of them, will try to sneak away.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
7.
You look back over your shoulder and they are making direct eye contact.
Eclipse tilts her head a little bit as she's watching.
Shit! And Silas will pull up his jacket a little bit.
And in an effort to be really nice to him, I'm gonna kind of turn to Eclipse and say, where did he go? He's doing such a good job.
No. Nice try!
You have to encourage him.
But you can't ignore it when he's wrong.
Oh no, he's doing horrible, but you have to be encouraging.
Good try! Keep going!
Thank you. I will. And down the stairs he'll go.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Anyone else have anything to resolve on their own before meeting back with the party in the main hall or in the main tavern?
Nay.
Okay. So morning arises and you guys slowly trickle out into the main tavern room. You find everyone there. Actually, it is time for our break. We went over a little bit long. So 5 minutes, everybody, and we'll be back here in a little while. The tavern seems a lot slower than it was last night for sure. New bartender has come in and is manning the stations, getting everything in order for perhaps another fast night.
Alrighty. I would like to jump in if we're all sitting at a table regrouped.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. So, Lek and I stumbled across some information last night that could be pertinent to our cause.
Oh yeah? Do tell.
We met a gentleman by the name of Phineas who discussed Oral's stomping grounds, as it were. Of course, she seems to live on an island amidst the frozen sea, and this Phineas gentleman explained that there might be a way to get across this island via a talking sperm whale that tows you along a ship tied to its back, and that you summon this creature by ringing a bell on a pier northwest of Bremen.
But it would require a trek through the wilderness, so it wouldn't be an easy trip, but I think once we resolve our business here in Brinchender with the Mythalar, it would be worth pursuing.
Agreed. And Lek and I discussed that we think that perhaps after we are done here, that we take the Mythalar straight to where it's gonna hurt. Take it to her home.
That could be a very good idea. It could also be a very bad idea to bring it right to her doorstep, because it's the only weapon we have to fight her at the moment. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
What exactly does it do?
Well, it creates pleasant weather, we've seen.
And we saw that she did not like that at all.
Did you forget all about all that, Zizix? I thought you were there. In fact, you helped us make it.
Well, I've slept a few times since then.
I count one.
Well, he
And I
woke up
guess that'd be
multiple times throughout the night.
Very many places since then.
Well, I don't know. It could be a good idea to bring it. One, to make the journey easier for us. Well, I say that if we activate it, we have to wait wherever it's active for 8 hours. So we couldn't have it active during our journey, necessarily. So what would the idea be? To activate it when we get to her island? To disrupt whatever weather she has going on there?
Why not?
That could be a good idea.
I mean, at this point, we don't really know a lot about what her weaknesses are, besides the fact that she cannot stand the existence of the myth. What
Yeah.
it does.
Yeah, it might be prove to be our best weapon against her. I just also know that she wants it from us, and I'm a little worried that bringing it there and activating it would make it too easy for her to get it back, or get it from us. But it might be worth the risk.
I think that this might be the most powerful weapon that we have against her currently.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
But erring on the side of caution, we also don't know what could be withheld inside her fortress.
Also true.
And that is a valid concern, no doubt.
Did you happen to get... Does this island have a name? And if so, did you happen to get it?
Negative.
Okay. But it's off the coast of Bremen?
It's northwest of Bremen, at the Ungajux Pier, is what he said.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Angajuk.
Ungajux.
Lek, do you mind if I take a look at your map?
No, I do not mind one bit.
Okay, and if I start looking at his map, can I find any islands in that described region?
So you look around on the map in that kind of direction. There's a multitude of different islands of ice that are just floating in the sea of moving ice, and hence the name Sea of Moving Ice. Even though those islands may be there when it was drawn, they tend to float and rotate around in the sea.
Right, which probably also means none of them are named.
Correct.
Okay. Well, damn. Yeah, I was hoping I could find something, like go to the library and do some research about the area, but if it's just a bunch of unnamed floating mounds of ice. There's not really going to be much to look into about that, I would say.
Well, hold on now. Is one of them shaped like a penis?
Sam, is one of them shaped like a penis?
Most of them are shaped like balls.
So it could be any one of them.
Ah, so she's a bamboozler.
The gentleman only referred to her island as the Bergs, but apparently summoning this talking whale will take you right to her. So the name of the island is irrelevant, I feel like, but I've got a feeling that the closer we get to it, the more obvious it will appear. Maybe.
No, I'm not worried about finding it if the legend proves to be true and this whale can take us there. I was just hoping there might be something I could find to research about what we'll find when we get there. But if it's just an unnamed floating mound of ice, I doubt that I will be able to find anything. So,
apparently, it's a popular ice fishing community. So perhaps the locals in the area may know more about it. I'd say that would be our best place to obtain more information on the subject.
I'd say you're probably right.
DM, reminder if you can spark my brain. Didn't we see a talking whale once before?
You've seen a talking tree, a talking
walrus?
Shrub, talking walrus. And then Lek and Lysander saw a talking moose.
Okay, maybe I was thinking of the walrus. Something said we didn't pass the vibe check, and then we killed it. So
that's right. Yeah.
Right.
Awful lot of talking creatures in these lands.
Yeah.
You would recall that there have been evil druids that have been at the hand of that, awakening creatures to do their own bidding.
Right.
So do you believe that this is the best use of our time? I mean, if we recall, there was those Duragar as well.
I would say the Duragar have always been the second priority in this region, right behind Oral. So if we have a lead on Oral, I think that takes slight precedence over the Duragar.
I'll go
Well
wherever
said,
I'm
Megan.
needed, so...
The Duragar are still a big threat to the region, but not as much as Oral. Oral is keeping everyone in this endless winter, and it needs to stop.
Very well. Then let's not waste time unless we're going to do a little shopping before we leave.
And as you guys continue this conversation, the door to the tavern burst open, and you see a spindly woman crash into the tavern and go immediately to the barkeep and say, "I'll take 3 of whatever you have." And the barkeep says, "What? Are you all right?" And you get a look at this girl. I would like you to make an intelligence check.
$16.
16. Okay, that's good enough. So you recognize this girl is Silja from Dugan's Hole, and by the looks of it, she's much dirtier than you found her. You see just something like black soot just covering her body, her face rather. Everything else is covered up, but looks to be tattered and torn away. And she says, "Dugan's Hole is under attack. I barely made it with my life. My brother is dead. My mother is dead. I came here as fast as I could. Bryn Shander should be safe." And the barkeep looks back to her and says, Under attack from what? And she looks up at him and says, a dragon.
How dreadful. She lost her husband, her father, her mother, and her sister.
Stand against incest.
Drop those ends in the chat. Well, seeing as though there's a dragon fucking up the lands, does that change our plans at all?
That probably does pose a more immediate threat.
Unfortunately, Dugan's Hole is taking us quite a ways away from where we were going to head. But yes, duty calls, I suppose.
Balls.
And the bartender looks to you and says, I don't know, I assume she's telling the truth. But we should alert Markham.
Yes, can someone please go get him?
I will send someone to do it. Never worry.
Thank you. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of like pull the party in so we can talk without everyone in the bar hearing us.
Sure.
Okay, so if we're gonna go off and do this first, I think it's only right that we proceed with our original plan for the Mythlar and leave it in the hands of the town while we're doing this so it can help people while we're gone. And then we just let them know that we will need it back when we go to face Oral.
Sounds like a reasonable course of action.
Yes, and we can trust Markham to hold on to it.
I feel so, yes. Anyone object to that course of action?
Nope.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure before Markham got here.
Okay. And you guys are hanging out here for Markham to come?
Yeah.
Okay. So, someone has bolted out of the tavern to go alert Markham. And after some time, about 10-15 minutes, the doors open and you see Sheriff Markham making his way in. And he looks to you. And he approaches you first and he says, have you talked to the woman?
We have not. We heard her tale to the bartender.
And then he looks over to her and says, ma'am, are you okay? She says, no, I'm not. The whole town has been destroyed. Every single building in flames, burning, at the side of my face, seething.
Just to play it safe, can I roll insight?
Sure.
Okay.
Out of my face.
That's a 10.
Yeah, she seems to be telling the truth.
Okay.
Nice Clue reference.
Thank you. And he says, Markham says, okay, well, what can you tell me about the dragon? Was it large? Was it smaller? She says it was as large as any adult dragon I've seen, but it was different in the same way. How do you mean? It wasn't red. It wasn't blue or white like the white one that we've seen. It was gray, like him. As she points at Lysander.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Okay.
And Markham looks to you and looks at Lysander. And he asks, I haven't encountered a dragon the shade of gray. Have you?
No. Can't say that I have.
What if this is what the Dirigar have been working on? What if it's a Charlatan dragon?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Remember, they kidnapped me because they wanted... Well...
They've been trying to get Charlatan in as much quantity as they can. And we've heard the rumors of them constructing something, but we had no idea what. I think they were making a metal dragon.
And she speaks up and she says, it was living and breathing, and the fire was a bright yellow beam. It was nothing like I had ever seen, but I can't say that I've seen other dragons up close and personal like this before. It was so fast. Dugan's hole wasn't very big, but it just seemed like everything was gone in the mere minutes. I don't know. Time felt like it was standing still.
I'm going to turn to Markham and say, we need to deal with this as quickly as possible.
How should we proceed?
Hell if I know. Get as many towns to send as many people as possible to take this thing on.
Might take some convincing for some towns to not look out for their own. Can one of you scribe a letter with their best persuasive argument that it's best to fight this collectively?
I can do that.
Okay. How much time would you like to put into drawing up a draft?
I think urgency is important, but I can take about 10 minutes, and the gist of it will be, if they want to continue to have a town, they should absolutely send their best in order to help defend it. Because whether they like it or not, they are united, at least in some cause.
I would like to assist him in writing this letter.
Okay. So, you both can roll a persuasion check, or we can give Silas advantage if... Vega, are you trained in persuasion?
Define trained.
Do you have the checkbox next to the skill to give you a proficiency bonus?
I do not.
Okay, I will give you a +2 instead of that, unless someone else who is trained wants to assist.
+2 is what I have to persuasion, so that would make sense.
I mean, I don't have proficiency in it, but I have +5.
It would still be a +2. Advantage I'm granting if you have proficiency in persuasion.
Gotcha.
I mean, I suppose your older friend Armand the Hammer could help.
Who is trained in persuasion?
He is.
So advantage on the roll if you would like it.
Wonderful.
While everybody is doing that,
I would like it.
I would like to pull Lek and Sinar aside. I'd like to go outside
Go ahead and make those rolls, Silas. And we'll take care of this outside.
23 is the higher of the two.
Okay, very good.
Disappointing with a plus 11, but what can you do?
Yeah, well, you know, it's not bad. Still.
Thank you for your tact, Armand.
Oh, sure, that's my pleasure. I'm glad to help you.
We step outside with Lysander and Lek and Sinar.
Okay. This was something that I was hoping to come back to, but I think that it definitely demands urgency now because we're going up against a Charlatan made out of the same metal as me. I think that we need to go and wake up this army and attack.
Ah, are you referring to Sinar's friends?
Yes.
Yes, that would probably be prudent. Sinar, where did you say we could find some more of your compatriots?
I am drawing a blank on this. Let me try and read. You guys have any more information so I can narrow down where to look this up exactly?
We had found him in the woods after we killed the albino moose. There was the moon dial, and he stated that if we were to get into the tomb, that we would awaken several more of his kind, and they would be under the leadership of the one that woke them up.
Let's see. Okay.
Because if I recall, there was another door near that mountain where we found him, but we did not explore it any further because Oral was attacking the party.
Correct. Okay, yeah, I see. Yes. So he then looks to you and he says, they are in the tomb that is locked away behind the moon dial. Sorry, his voice changed. They are locked behind the moon dial where I was awoken.
And how do we get in there?
His voice changed. He's a spy. Kill him.
Let's see. He says, he believes, let's see if he knows how to open the moon dial. I don't think he does, but we'll see. There's a number of steps to take before the moon dial is opened. You must gaze upon a mirror, and you must inscribe the words of Nomenon. Or, alternatively, the moonbeam spell must be utilized.
I see. Well, the one problem we have with this is logistics. Logistically speaking, to get back to the area we found Sinar, we have to go 4 hours north, whereas we now need to head south to Dugan's Hole, so that's the one hiccup in this plan. Not to say wouldn't potentially be worth the trip, but I wasn't sure if this was something you want to bring everybody in on, or not?
That's why I pulled you out here.
As I suspected. Well, I guess it depends. Let's say everybody, if we don't leave for Dugansoul till tomorrow, we could make a quick trip with Sinar there and back, potentially. Otherwise, it'll be a little more difficult to leave them out of the loop.
Right. Because otherwise we would have to get everybody in on this information.
So, I guess maybe it's, if let's say they don't leave until tomorrow, and maybe we can persuade them to wait until then. Do you think you'd be okay with attempting to make that trip with just me and Sinar?
I'm sure that we could borrow some sled dogs or somebody from Markham to make the trip a little hastier.
All right, very good. Then,
but before we embark on that endeavor, I turn to Sinar. I need to know that we can get in there quickly to awaken your friends and this army.
I can only tell you that it's been 200 years since I've been inside, and I don't know for certain how many still remain. If that ruin has been untouched and kept together, they will be there, a dozen of us. If not, it could be none, could be a few. There's no real telling.
I thought you had mentioned there were a few hundred asleep in the mountain.
I didn't see a few hundred. God damn my ad-libbing.
It's okay. I was double checking to make sure I had that right.
Let me see.
Because the number I vaguely remember was like 200.
Hey everyone, I'm terribly sorry. I gotta go. I got a bit of an emergency going on.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, jeez.
I hope everything's okay. Good luck. Yeah. I don't know where I would have pulled a couple hundred from unless it was like a burial ground. That's not what was contained within the Tomb of the Half Moon. It might have been like burial region of his tribe over time. Let's see. Okay. Lek, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh.
Hello, Lek.
My lord, I feel like it's been a while.
Never mind that, but I was listening to your conversation, and you're speaking of my second attempt to take over Icewind Dale. Yeah, about 80 years ago or so. I took a lot of those people.
Ah,
We
so
failed.
I see. So there aren't any mummies remaining to be taken then.
I may have missed a few, but I can confirm there's not hundreds.
Very good. Well, thank you for potentially saving us the trouble, my lord. While I have you, is there anything in particular I need to be setting my attention to, or business as usual?
Business as usual, though I did notice a strange emanation not too long ago. A particularly strong magic. Ancient, I would say.
Really?
Yes, it's something that emanated a lot of light. I remember it fondly from my time back in the day.
Do you recall the source of this emanation?
They call it the Mythalar, but that is not something I wish to absorb, as I feel it may be better used as a tool.
Oh yes, the Mythalar. Yes, I would agree at that point. As we are facing a bit of contention on the side of on the oral side of things.
Yes. But anyway, if something rises, I shall contact you again, or if you have anything to add, we can close this meeting and I can give you back your minutes.
All right. I have nothing to add, my lord. I will press on, and I will make sure to let Lysander know and save us some trouble.
Yes, thank you, and we appreciate your work.
Oh, I thank you, my lord. I will continue on, and I appreciate your patronage.
The Zoom call has ended.
So, Lysander, I was apologize if I was in a bit of a trance there. I was just talking to Larlock, and apparently he attempted to use the mummy army to take Icewind Dale a while back, and didn't work out so well. So he's pretty certain the vast majority of them are gone from their resting place. So there may be a few unaccounted for, but I'm not sure if that'd be worth our time or not.
So not an army. Never mind then. Okay. I thought we had something there. I suppose not. Well, I guess we'll go back in and regroup and continue amassing the locals of the 10 towns.
Yes, and then I suspect we'll be making all haste to Dugan's Hole to investigate and whatnot.
Indeed.
All right. Sorry about that. I did not see anything in the book about that, and it must have been just a miscommunication about the army.
It's all right.
It's quite
all
right.
Good.
In any case,
I adored that workaround. So
yes, that was great.
It was the most casual conversation I've ever had with Larlock.
I'd say.
Which was fantastic.
All right. So as you guys return inside, Silas has just finished up his draft with the help of Armand Hammer, and the rest of the party that remained inside has been drafting up copies of it to disperse, and Markham retrieves each copy and Guardsmen have entered the tavern, and he has bestowed upon them each 8 scrolls that have just been written out by you guys with a persuasion score of 23, I believe. And he says, for those traveling to Goodmead, East Haven, Cardinaval, consolidate the notes and carry on to towns along the way. And he starts assigning out sled dogs to the messengers to get them out there as quickly as possible. And he says, time is of the essence. Go. And they quickly leave the tavern and make their way out towards the edges of town. So, from there, Markham looks to you and he says, what's your course of action?
Well, I'd say we should probably head to Dugan's Hole as well, but it might prove wise to wait until the rest of the towns have had a chance to respond to the word, so we're not facing this thing alone.
Might I say that the chances of it still being in Dugan's Hole are probably slim, since it's not a large town to begin with, and it sounded like it's mostly destroyed by now. I kind of doubt it would hang around there, but it would be a good place to start our investigation to maybe discern where it might have gone to.
That is true.
Although it's a dragon, I don't know how well anyone can really track a dragon. You know, flight and all.
Follow the destruction?
Yeah, I suppose that's the typical way, which seems to be its pattern. Well,
keep your eyes to the skies.
Yeah. Well, in that case, we should probably gear up and head out fairly soon. But before we do that, we do have some things to discuss with you, Markham.
Oh? Can it wait?
I think it better if it didn't.
Okay. You have my ear.
I assume you have noticed and or heard word of the second son yesterday?
Yeah. We all saw it, and we weren't sure what to make of it.
Looking around real quick, how private is this conversation?
Yeah, it's pretty sparse. Besides the woman that came in and the bartender, there may be just one other patron at the bar.
Well, I'm just going to kind of pull him away from prying ears just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then continue. Well, we may have had something to do with that. And we may be able to help all of the 10 towns. And we are trusting you to help us do this.
All right. Well, how did you do it?
We came across a device that we then finished. And now possess. And it is capable of wondrous things. Not limited to, but including controlling the weather.
Well, I'll be damned. You assholes did it again.
Yeah. We feel like Brinchanter being in a pretty central location as far as the 10 towns go, this would be a good place to start using it. But we do also think that it's important that it get shared among the 10 towns so they can all reap its benefits.
What do you suggest? A rotation?
I think that might be a good idea. Another possibility would be to get some skilled mages to work on creating more of them, so multiple towns could have some.
Well, multiple. I don't know what your thoughts on this. I'm not a magician of any sorts. But if there's multiple of these things, could we also start scorching the earth?
Would I know the answer to that?
Make an intelligence check.
Intelligence. $14.
Okay, so you would think yes, it would be a little bit higher of a temperature. You're not exactly sure how much higher, but you know that having multiple at one time would compound the effect. Go ahead and make a nature check. I'll give you advantage on this one.
Thank you. I was not happy with that roll. That's better. 21.
You would know that where the temperature got to just the other day was kind of optimal temperature for the local greenery and fauna. That if it were to rise higher than that, you might be negatively affecting the local natural resources and plant life that are here, that have grown accustomed to that cold, frigid temperature. You would be possibly needing to import more of a not necessarily the jungle region, but maybe more of a high desert, adaptable, hardy plants on the other side of the spectrum from the cold.
Right. But how far did that Mythalar reach when it was active?
It had, I believe, was a couple miles in radius. Let me double check for clarity.
Just to clarify the full breadth of my question, while you're looking into it, if there are multiple at once going, if they're far enough away, shouldn't they not really affect each other and not compound on top of each other?
I see. Yes. So...
Or even more so if they stagger when they have them activated?
Let me see here. So having them further away would definitely mitigate a lot of that. But you would know that the furthest 10 towns of, let's see, Bremen looks to be the farthest west, and then East Haven being the farthest east, there would be quite a bit of overlap in that middle region.
Gotcha.
Because even though it takes hours to travel, it's because of how snowy it is and difficult those roads are to traverse.
So if there were to just be one, and it was staying in a central location, like I believe we discussed Frenchander being, would it be enough to positively affect all of the 10 towns?
Okay, let me double check, because I was looking at the big Mythalars. in the back
Right.
of the book. I want to see if I can find the smaller one here. Summer Star, that's what it was called. So let's see. 5 miles of you, so in 5 miles, let's get that map back up. Yeah, that would be able to encapsulate all of the 10 towns.
Oh hell yeah, bet then.
Yep.
Well then, never mind. Okay, then I don't know. Sorry, talking about all this above table. I don't know where I left off with Markham, but then I will just say. So, we think Bryn Shander would be the best place for this device because of its central location, the fact that it's a larger city, and the fact that we trust you completely.
All right.
That being said, we will still need to use this device elsewhere because we have a lead on the location of Oral, and this thing will be pivotal, could be pivotal in defeating her.
I see. I don't think we'll have any objection to keeping it safe until it's time. Granted, this dragon does not prove to be something that we can't withstand. We've fought dragons in the past, but it's been quite some time.
Right, and they were not made of fucking metal, but you also did not have our help in the past, and now you do.
We
and
had the help.
Hopefully the towns will unite under this, or at least enough of them.
We had the help of the Order of the North in the past, and perhaps we will put your portraits up in this tavern as well.
Well, it would be an honor. They sound like they were fucking badass. Either way, I think it's important that this device go into use as soon as possible and remain in use until we need to borrow it again. And
So
then
you
go straight back into use when we bring it back.
Suggest using this device at sundown?
I think so. I would suggest sundown because then it gives you... I mean, that's what we did when you saw the second sun yesterday. And that seemed to work out pretty well. It just gave pretty much a normal length day instead of shitty fourth of a day we've been having.
Yes. It was a nice reprieve, but all right. I will talk with the town speaker. I'm sure we will be able to do this and secure the device and protect it by any means.
Should I come with you to do that?
I'll be able to take care of it. I think this dragon might need your matters sooner than this would.
Understood. Well, take care of it. I'll give him a brief rundown over how it works. And then hand it off to him.
Okay. And he holds it in his hand and puts it under his cloak and nods his head, understanding.
All right, then I'll turn to the party. Well, let's fucking gear up, shall we?
We shall.
Did you happen to warn him that when we used that thing, that the big light things showed up?
I did not. I don't think Oral would send those things again because we defeated them fairly easily that time. But I guess it is worth mentioning. And I'll turn and try to catch up with Markham and let him know.
Yeah, easy enough. Yes, is there something else?
Yeah, I do feel it's one of my party members brought to my attention. It is worth mentioning. When we activated this thing, Oral got pretty pissed about it and sent some cold light walkers after us. We dispatched them and she left. But this thing pisses her off. So you should be aware of that.
I would imagine it would. I will be sure to have a station of guards on set that we don't allocate to assisting with this dragon and Dugan's Hole, that is.
Right.
And as Markham is about to leave the tavern, the door opens before he gets to it, and it's one of the guardsmen. He says, "Markham, the dragon's been spotted. It's in good mead."
Oh God, no.
Markham looks back to you. Looks back to the guardsman. He says, "Need to keep an eye out and track its movements. We can send a retinue now. Let's do it."
And I'm going to turn to the party. Guys, we have to go save Good Mead.
Indeed.
And I'm going to immediately start gathering my shit and getting ready to go.
Okay. So, from there, I assume everyone's gathering up their shit and ready to head out the door.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, for sure.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay. So, you guys make your way through town, heading towards the south gate during the daytime, and start to pick up the pace with the threatened township of Goodmead now assumingly under attack. You guys make your way out of town. You head south, or I'm sorry, you head, let's see, that's east and then south at the fork. And when you're outside and you look in the direction of Goodmead, you see smoke arising over the east way, the small forest that is around there. You see beams of light start to fire off. You see the dragon circling overhead. You see it firing down its beam of light into the town below. Can't hear any screams, they're too far away, but you see this Chardalyn dragon. Little rotund and beefy. It looks like it's quite stocky in regards to other dragons. However, you then soon see that it spirals around the town for the last time before it moves off and heads in your direction overhead. What would you like to do? You guys are essentially at the fork.
I'm gonna be talking to the party and say, I don't think we can take this thing on alone. So maybe we should hide while it passes and then head to Goodmead to help in whatever way we can.
Well, I am a huge fan of hiding.
I thought you might like that one.
Yeah, we definitely need to make sure that they're okay.
All right. So, the dragon continues to soar in the air, and you hear the from the distance, the roar of the dragon. As it continues to sail into your direction, beating its wings, scanning the area, and it looks at you. It pays no mind. Continues east as it passes overhead.
That is the threat.
What town does it appear to be heading towards?
Make a survival check.
Can do. $24.
You think that the dragon is now headed towards East Haven.
Wonderful. I wish we had a way to warn them, but you know. I'll even say that out loud. God, I wish we could warn East Haven.
Did we not? Did Markham not send messengers to all the 10 towns?
I guess he did, but there's no telling if they'll beat the dragon there.
They left 20 minutes before you guys did. And you know it takes about 5 hours to get to East Haven on the ground. On sleds, maybe half that time. So they'd be just getting there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, let's just get to Goodmead and see how we can help. And then we're probably going to have to do the same thing at East Haven. Dugan's hole can burn, whatever. But let's go.
All right.
Right.
Continuing then down the path over to Goodmead. Let's see. Traversing down on the fork going south. I would like you all to make perception checks after your next 30 minutes into travel.
I got an 11.
Nat 20 plus 4.
I don't see shit.
I see everything.
I got an 8.
I also got 11.
19.
Nice. So, oops. Vega, you spot off on the right what look to be people. A large group of people. Count. You lose count after the first 15, but there's more, maybe twice to 3 times as that. Walking through the snow, off the path, north, the opposite direction that you were traveling, a lot of them have livestock, the cows, the goats, and you see a number of those livestock pulling carts to the north.
Do I recognize these as people of Goodmead?
You would see that they are traveling from the direction of Goodmead and heading north, yes.
But like being from that town, do I recognize that they're people from that town?
At the distance that you're at, it's hard to make out identities of anyone.
Gotcha. I'll kind of turn to the party and say, "Hey, I think I see the townspeople up here," and I'll immediately like go towards them.
And as you start approaching, there's a smaller figure that waves. They say, "Vega, there's almost nothing left." It's Olvesa.
I'm so sorry. What happened? How bad was it?
Everything's gone except for the mead hall. The mead hall was left alone for some reason, but before we had to leave, we counted 20 dead, 25 maybe. We have a few wounded here, but we figured the best bet was to head to Bryn Shander and seek refuge. The messenger got here, met us as we were leaving, and came into the destruction.
Yeah, Bryn Shander might be the safest place for you right now. And then I'm going to kind of address the whole crowd. If you're wounded, please come here. Or have someone bring you here, if you have to.
And a few people make their way up, and you see they have scrapes and cuts from what looked like falling timber, burns. There's a man without a leg.
I'm going to cast Healing Spirit and have them all pass through it. How many of them are there?
I believe there are 6 in total wounded.
Okay, I've got more than enough for that then.
Okay.
So they can all pass through it.
And they receive some healing.
Yeah,
They're
they'll
very
each
grateful.
get... Let me double check. I think it's a D6 each. Let me double check though.
Oh, by the way. Oops.
Yeah, it's 1d6 for each of them that pass through it.
1d6 for each. Alright. Junk.
And it can do that 8 times, so if there's 6 of them, that should be fine.
Okay. That's what you saw flying overhead.
Whoa.
Damn.
As you take the time to tend to the wounded, the rest of the group continues on their path north, seeking refuge in the town that looks to be the most defensible of Bryn Shander.
Dude, that thing's face makes me think...
Makes you think
Makes
what?
me-
You cut out.
Makes me think of like if Meta Knight had a body and didn't look goofy.
Yeah, true.
That's gnarly looking.
So, with the wounded tended to, the bleeding stopped on the amputee. What would you guys like to do?
I'll turn to the party. Should we head back with them to Bryn Shander to help everyone regroup, or should we head to East Haven to deal with their fallout that they're about to have? Or should we try to fight this dragon?
Let's fight the dragon.
You want to fight the dragon, Zizix?
No.
Damn, okay.
Well, there's one
Okay.
vote.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so what does everyone think? Head to Bryn Shander, head to East Haven, try to help the people, try to fight it? What should we do?
I feel like eventually the dragon will be making its way to Bryn Shander, and frankly, I think that is the safest place to be. They have fortresses against giants and other threats. I think that would be our best bet. That dragon will be making its way there eventually.
I agree. And we're a good 5 hours from East Haven, so there's not much help we could do by the time we got there anyways. It'll beat us there significantly.
Look off into the distance of East Haven, you see the beams of charged energy descending down on the town. Smoke rising from the east.
Oh my god.
Yeah, doesn't look like we're going to get there in time to help at all. So, yeah, I think this is going to keep happening and people are going to keep gathering in Bryn Shander. And we need to be there when they do.
Back to Bryn Shander.
I suppose so.
Back to Bryn Shander.
I'll try and move at a slightly brisk pace to try and catch up with the people of Goodsmead and make the journey with them.
So you're splitting off from the group and traveling with the people of Goodmead?
No, I'm just trying to move briskly and hoping that the party follows my lead.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So that we will eventually catch up with them, because we shouldn't be too far behind them.
No, you're not too far.
Yeah, we need to get there as quick as we can.
Okay. You guys reconvene with the party from Goodmead. Survivors continue north through the wilderness. You arrive back at the gates of Bryn Shander after a few hours. Make your way in. You see the people of Goodmead are very downtrodden. Very, well, it's like they lost their home, which they quite literally did.
Yeah.
The guards have been preempted and informed of what's occurring at this very moment. Let the people in. There seems to be a mass of people gathering at the town hall. Vessa Shane is comforting the refugees as they come by. They come in for shelter. You see that some food has been brought in from the tavern. Some leftover knucklehead from the night before feeding everyone. Markham enters and he says, "We've sent word to the other towns of the 10 towns that remain. We've asked that they evacuate and send a retinue for their defense, or at least ready them. By the sounds of it, Dugan's Hole, Goodmead have fallen. We're very sorry to hear that, and you are welcome here in Bryn Shander." Vessa? Duvessa steps up to speak and says, "We will provide shelter for everyone who is displaced here. We have enough unused buildings. We will make room where we can. But I ask of you, if you can fight, we need you to fight. This winter has proved to be challenging, and our numbers have been dwindling. We are not the same Bryn Shander as we are in the past, and it would be such a lie to try to say that we are. The repairs on the walls have been slow. The number of our retinue has dwindled. But if we have the arms, we have the weapons. If you can fight, we ask you to fight. Women, children, please take shelter, stay inside during this trifling time. But if you can wield a bow, if you can wield a sword, if you can help move goods from one place to another, I ask that you stand in and help. And protect the 10 towns or what remains of it for a better tomorrow, and we will survive. Trust. Have hope. This is not insurmountable. It may feel like it right now, but it can be done. And as she's speaking, more people come in. People that don't look like they're from Goodmead. These people look to be from East Haven. A few hours have passed and people have been able to evacuate, but they look very displaced and downtrodden as well. Let's see.
Looks like Duves is going to have to give that entire speech again.
Copy paste. Copy paste. Copy paste.
It was a good speech. I felt like I was watching Braveheart.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was.
It was inspiring as
That
fuck.
was moving. Yeah.
I'd give myself DM inspiration, but that would be at the fault of yours, and it would be harder for you.
Yeah,
Well, you could
So I won't do that.
distribute it to the rest of us.
Yeah, we will accept this award on your behalf.
So, as you look and let's see. Outside of the open doors of the town hall, there is now gathered what look to be hundreds of people. And one scryer comes in and says, "We have a report from East Haven. 250 survivors have perished. Or, I'm sorry, 250 citizens have perished, leaving 500 of us making our ways. We have some who can fight, but most of our militia have been killed in the fight." Let's see. He says the Duergar have also started their land invasion. They were fighting on the foot. The dragon never set foot on the ground. It just barraged us from the air. There was no way to put any damage on it at all. But now it looks like that the dragon is on its way to Caer Dineval. It's been traveling there for a couple of hours now, so it should be making landfall soon. And Markham and Duvessa, they look to each other and they look to the crowd and they say, "Copy paste, copy paste, copy paste." And
Yes, quite.
yes. But the town hall is filling up fast. People are setting up tents outside, trying to get some shelter ready. And Duvessa makes eye contact with you all and says, "Can I speak with you all in private?"
Absolutely. And Sam, how close is it to sundown?
At this point, it's about that time.
Okay. I have a thought, but I'll wait until she's done talking to us.
She said, "You weren't able to catch up in good mead, I take it. East Haven has just trickled in. It's only a matter of time before Cardinaval starts coming our way. But I think it's about time to utilize the second sun, and I think that might be a huge morale booster for this town.
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
Do we announce it publicly, or do we just let it happen? What do you think?
I think we should say something. Yeah, let us go up there as a party. If you'll get the device and bring it up there with us.
Absolutely. And Duvessa looks to Markham, and he opens up the chest that this thing was locked in with 3 different locks on it. Duvessa grabs it and says, "Oh, ooh, this thing's heavy. Okay. I'll let you say the words on your behalf."
All right, I'll get everyone's attention. Everyone, good people of the 10 towns. I know everything is pretty shitty at the moment, and things are looking very dismal. But know that there are good things coming, and there is hope. We will all be united once the rest of the towns arrive, and we can take on this threat together. And more than that, the other existing threat to this region of Oral and her endless goddamn winter. Well, you know what? We have a weapon against that too. And it's here for all of you. And we all get to share in this together as we give a huge middle finger to Oral and this dragon and these Dirigar and all of it. We're ready for it. We can do it. And this is going to be our saving grace. And I'll
The crowd
nod
starts
at
to
Markham and
they murmur and start to buzz with interest. You have them captivated, and you make your gesture over to Duvessa, who holds the Summer Star, the Mythalar, in her hands, and raises it up. Few from the crowd say, well, what is it?"
And I'll turn to all of them and say, it's hope.
They start whispering to each other a little bit louder. It becomes a constant buzz almost with how many people are packed into this town hall. Anything else?
No, I gave the nod to Duvessa as if to say, activate it.
She leans over to you and says, "Should we do this outside?"
I'm trying to remember. We did need to do it outside, didn't we?
So, yeah. So I assume you give her the nod, like, yeah, outside. So she lifts it over her head. She takes the lead and walks through the crowd that parts like the Red Sea, making a pathway for her to go outside to the mass of people that are gathered. Bryn Shander, locals, East Haven refugees, Good Mead refugees, and the like. As the sun begins to set, she holds it over her head, starts to glow, starts to give a warmth. It It starts to levitate and rise. Shine brightness sends into the sky. The crowd cheers. Second son. It's ours, says one of the patrons of the bar that was there earlier. A few of the refugees from Goodmead look up. All of the crowds in the surrounding area stare up, not directly at the light because you'll go blind, but at this device. Scintillating, rotating, beaming energy and warmth. Finally reaches its peak directly over the town hall, Rinshander. Vesa Shane looks to the crowd and says, "It is as Vega said. Hope. This is the hope that we harbor in our hearts, emanating through a physical device to guide us through these trying times." One of the crowd members puts away an egg.
That took me a second. That was good.
Yep. Thanks. And the crowd is in awe. And that murmur becomes silence. You see them start to disrobe, take off their heavy winter clothing, try to soak in the rays of this device and the warmth.
I thought you were going to stop it. They all start to disrobe, and I was like, what, are they that happy? They're all just going to start an orgy out of nowhere? Like, calm down, people.
Oh, man. And the whispers start to rise up again. Vesa says, "Now, if you can fight, over here with Markham, we will get you armed. If you are competent with a bow, a sword, over there. If you have an able body, and you can help us with logistics, meet up with me, and we will get something arranged." The crowd begins to divide themselves, and the people who can help get in line. They line up to get their orders. The people who can fight, the smaller than the number who are just able to help in logistics and assist with the people who need help. Though they are smaller in number, it's a lot more than what you would have had without. As you hear the cracking in the distance, familiar charges of that energy dispersed from the dragon crackling through the sky, almost like lightning at a distance, and thunder. Let's see. Is there anything else anyone else would like to say at this point, as the crowd is still within earshot?
I think that we need to be at the ready immediately.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I feel like I've said enough.
What would you like to do then at this point?
I would like to find Markham in the crowd, and yeah, I want to go find Markham, talk to him.
Yeah. Easy enough. What would you like to say?
Where would be the best place that you think to line an attack on this thing?
Well, past we had used our ballista, but ballista are defunctional at this point. We might have one or two on the east wall. It all depends on where it's attacking from. We can try to goad it to attack to one side than the other, but I feel like that would be risky, putting lives at risk. You won't know until time is upon us. I'd say if it's like a dragon in nature, which you're like a man in nature, we'll attack where it sees a weakness. I would say the north gate might be the tastiest looking side, but it has a ballista on it. Perhaps not. It's hard to say. It's hard to gauge. Our main hope, with our lack in anti-air capabilities, would be to damage its wings with the limited ammunition we have and force it to fight on the ground.
Okay.
But he looks up to the sky and off to Caer Dineval, and he says, 6 towns remain. Who knows how many we'll have for the final fight.
Let's hope it's enough.
Will be. I believe it to be. Looks up at the second sun. Says, this won't give anyone hope and the resolve to fight. I don't know what else could.
Couldn't agree more.
You look like a fast runner. Over here. Sorry.
You're good. In the meantime, I think we need to keep our eyes to the skies and stay vigilant.
If I were the dragon, and I don't know if it has been programmed to act in a way or has orders and is following orders, the actions that it's taken, it's attacked all of the surrounding villages, surrounding towns. It's almost like it's trying to push everyone inward here. I think that's what it wants. Try to take it to them.
I see.
I think that's a good spot to end the session tonight.
All right. Holy crap.
6 towns to go.
Oh, man.
Well, I hope everyone had fun, at least. Even though it was setting a stage for a big fight, which the party looks to wait it out and confront it when it arrives, whenever that may be.
This was a damn good session.
So,
oh yeah, man, we got a lot done.
I hope everyone watching has enjoyed. I'm glad you guys had fun playing in it. I had fun DMing it. We'll catch you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.